I record all of my stuff. Voila. So welcome to the party. My name is Kim Ward. I think you all know me. You're here. You found me somehow. I'm a digital marketing strategist and a Pinterest marketing expert. And as a matter of fact, I was just approached by a school, a physical marketing school in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. They asked me if I would come out to Pennsylvania and teach an in-person workshop about Pinterest marketing. So this is really, really, really catching on. Thank you for celebrating with me. I was like, Pennsylvania's a breeze. I just flew across the world for a mastermind, of course, right, Danielle? We were in London doing our thing. So a couple of quick things before we officially get started. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to give you the tools, the keys to the kingdom. You know that I never, ever hold back on you. I want to make a quick announcement. You know that we launched the Pinfluence Profits Mastermind. We have only 13 spots available left in that mastermind. I did keep the price at the original price. There's a payment plan, there's a pay in full. I'm going to say this until next Friday the 13th. After Friday the 13th, the doors are locked, the doors are closed. You cannot get in. This is not a marketing ploy. The doors are not going to reopen. It is not going to reopen until Q1, which is the end of January 2024. So if you are looking at this going, holy crap, I need your hands, your expertise, your wisdom, your time, your attention on my marketing strategy, do what you have to do to get in. There's 13 spots left. The link is in the chat. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. So this is not an official, I don't have a PowerPoint. This is me and you. I want you to ask your questions. I am going to ask everyone to just keep themselves muted for now. If you have a question, raise your hand. That way, people who are watching the replay, and we can kind of get through our time together. I appreciate you guys so, so much. So a lead magnet, if you are a digital marketer, which most, if not all businesses in today's stratosphere, you need a lead magnet. You need a way to provide that value to your audience and the audience that you're building in exchange for their email. And so you're going to be building an email list, right? And that allows you to build community, to nurture, to guide, and to make offers and suggestions, AKA solutions to your people that are relevant to what it is that they opted in for. So I'm going to get all kinds of messy today. I know you guys don't mind. And I want to show you a couple of lead magnets that you might have come into my world. And that's how you got here. So first and foremost, one of the lead magnets that I used to use, let me find it right here. It's called Passive Pinterest Profits. It is an 8-step download. And you can see this one lead magnet. I have generated 458 leads through this one lead magnet. And so what that means is I've had 458 people raise their hand and say, that's valuable enough. I'm interested enough to give you my email or maybe my phone number. And so you link this to your email autoresponder, your email software, and it kind of triggers what we call a campaign. So that email will go out and say, hey, welcome. Here's the thing I promised you. It may come with a relevant offer. This is your someone keeps muting me. Don't mute me. So I use an email autoresponder, and thank you for asking. I'm going to put this in the chat for you. It's trying to autocorrect me, which is a shame. Damn it. Aweber. Aweber.com allows the beginner to start completely free. It's very, very user-friendly, and there's no upfront cost. So this will allow you to get in, develop that skill, get your feet wet. The problem with having the free version of Aweber is they have what's called a double opt-in. So that means if you land on my page, let me see if this page is still active and I'll show you what we mean here. Okay, so you land on this page, and by me saying, yes, here is my name, here is my email, that right there is called an opt-in. They have opted in to receive this document as well as any other relevant correspondence that you're going to send. When you have a double opt-in, that means when they get to your Aweber system, because you're on the free version, they want you to pay to play. And I will tell you, it's less than $20 a month for the Aweber system. The double opt-in will say, hey, I see that Helga just said, yes, I want this, but does she really? So Aweber is going to send out an email to that person on your behalf, and it's going to say, Helga, you know, you opted into Kim Ward's Pinterest Profits download. Do you really want it? If so, click this button to confirm your subscription. The problem with that is I would say a good 80 to 85% of the time, that very critical message lands in a spam folder, in a promotions folder, and they're not seeing it. So if they never see it to tap that double opt-in, they never, ever hear from you. So it is a moot point. So what we're looking to do is put a little bit of skin in the game, right? We have got to spend money to make money. It's just the way it is. And you can upgrade to the paid version of Aweber. Like I said, it's less than 20 bucks a month. And that releases that double opt-in. So now when someone comes to your page and they're like, here's my name, here's my email, boom, the email automatically triggers and sends out to them. Could you imagine me waiting for 458 people? Holy crap. So let's review this and see what are the components of a lead magnet that could, and I want you to be thinking about your audience. I want you to think about what are the things that you wish you had? What are the things that you wish you knew while you were still in the worst of it? Because that's what we're doing. We're really kind of reaching back to help those people who are 1, 2, 3, 4 steps behind us. And so this particular, Tara, I will call on you in just one second. This particular lead magnet starts off with 8 simple steps. That language right there is like, okay, we don't want anything that's too convoluted. We don't want anything that's too crazy, because none of us want more work on our plate. We do know that it is going to take work to create the thing, whether it's a mindset shift, whether it's a money shift, leads, right? Sales, whatever the thing looks like in your world. So 8 simple steps to what? Passive Pinterest profits. Passive is that key word. And then my subheader is like, hey, discover the secrets to passive lead and sales in 90 days or less. So the words discover, the words unlock, the words secrets, those are very powerful assumptive languages, like words that people are like, yeah, I want that. So Kim Ward has condensed years of training to bring you the 8 simple steps to long-term freedom. And as we're going through this, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that has your spidey senses tingling here? What do you like about what you're seeing visually? What do you like about what I'm saying based on the words? Because that's going to be an indicator of what's important to your audience as you build a lead magnet that's going to convert on Pinterest and really, really anywhere. So then we go through a few quick little bullet points. Key to an attractive and effective profile, that what? There's always a so what. What's the promised outcome? Well, here I've put the promised outcome in bold so that if they're scrolling, it's like, oh, right, easy to pick out, Cindy. So it puts you in front of your ideal audience. Hello, that's a no-brainer, right? Next, how to name your boards so that what? I even put the so that language here so that they work for you 24/7. Right? Does anyone want to go to bed and wake up the next morning and have leads and automated sales? Because that's my promise here through this lead magnet. But you're not going to get there unless you understand what those 8 simple steps are. What to include in your title and your description to what? Get you found faster. I don't know if you guys saw my Facebook Live interview with Emily Christensen yesterday. She's one of my Pinterest students. She posted a pin, and within 2 days, she had 17,000 views in 2 days on this one pin. So the promise is real, right? And then how to batch your pins so you what? Barely spend time on Pinterest and make more money than your other platforms. Woo! Okay, Tara, come on out. If you can unmute, if not, I'll do it for you. Question?
Yes, I have a quick question.
Beautiful.
So you started with this as your page to your website, this lead magnet?
I'm not even dealing in websites right now. It is like this lead magnet becomes the one thing that you're going to put in your bio of your social media platforms. Okay. So if you're on TikTok, this was the one thing. Instagram, Facebook, and then I create pins about this lead magnet and it points people to this link. So this is completely different than your website. If you have a website, you really want a lead magnet, a free giveaway towards the top above the fold, the top of your website as early on as possible. Make sense, Tara?
Uh-huh. Yes. Okay. So would a pop-up, like I have a pop-up that comes up on my website?
Yep.
Is that okay? Same thing?
I would have both. I would have both. You want a lead magnet tucked up as close as you can so that, number one, there's not a dead end is what I call it. So if they choose not to take anything on your website at this point, at least they can get in further in your ecosystem on your email list and you're able to fulfill on that promise. And then if they don't do it, when they go to, whether your pop-up is like, hey, when they go to close the page, the pop-up is like, are you sure you want to leave? Grab this thing. That secondary piece gets the brain going, oh, maybe I really do need this. And that's kind of the last minute opportunity. And then another pop-up is like, if they've been on your page for X amount of seconds, then that pop-up will pop up. And that can be the same as your lead magnet.
And is that something that's automated? Like you can set that automation in your website, right?
Yeah, it really depends on what you're using, but most software, they definitely have that ability.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You are very welcome. Okay. So I want to hear from you for a second. When you look at this particular lead magnet, I don't know how long I use this because I like to over deliver. And if you've been in my world for any length of time, I think that you would absolutely agree with that. So what I did was I took this one little 8-step piece and then I went ahead and I added it to a bundle. So I was like, how can I beef this up? How can I put this lead magnet on steroids so that it becomes an absolute no-brainer for people? And so I'll show you that next. But first, what are you picking up here? What's standing out for you? Clean and simple. Yeah. It is to the point. And that was kind of my thought, pardon the language. You kind of have to expect a little bit of saltiness around me, but it's like, I want you to do one of two things. I want you to put your email in, or I want you to get the hell off my page. Those are the two things you can do here. We don't have time to mess around. Aram, thank you for saying that. Makes me want to know more, right? I like the 3 ideas, but wondering PDF, video. So this one here is a PDF. So now they can kind of see it, they can download it, they can have it. And then the upsell, what's the next step in this customer acquisition journey? It is going to be my Pinterest Marketing Academy. It's a course. So the course is the next step. It's like, here's the download. You can try this on your own, but for most people, you need a little bit more. So that little bit more is my academy, which is a $197 course. That's where the videos come in. So you're kind of giving them, you're being a little seductive. You want them to bite, but you don't want them to solve the problem on their own. Okay. So now I was like, you know what? This isn't enough for me anymore. This isn't enough for me anymore. So I went ahead and I recently created what most of you probably know as the Pinterest Power Plan Bundle. So let's click on this. This is relatively new, and I've generated 236 leads out of this, right? So add 458 to 236, not too shabby for a lead magnet. This is no paid ads. This is necessarily, not needing speaking. This is me using organic social media presence or Pinterest pinning to get these people on my email list. And now I have people to talk to. So I did have an upsell with this bundle, and you can see that 3 people took the upsell. So that generated $591 in business revenue. And I like to say this because revenue does not mean your income. This is business revenue. So I'm okay showing these numbers. It's not a problem. I'm going to click on this. And I was like, how can I do better? So now let's take a look at this one. Right at the top, the header calls out, who is this speaking to? Right? So I'm talking to who? This is for the entrepreneur who wants to generate leads. The promise is always in bold so that the eyeballs make it like, whoa, I can scroll through this page and know exactly what I'm getting. So generate leads and drive traffic passively. There's a reason why I started to teach Pinterest, as you all know. And I had a financial coach lean in on a Zoom one day, and she goes, hey, what would you do if you were unable to physically work your business for 4 consecutive months? And I dropped a lot of cuss words in my response to her. And I thought, I'm in big trouble, because a lot of us, we're still the thing. We're the one thing in our business that has the price tag over our head. So if we're not physically there, whether it's one-to-one, whether it's one-to-many, it's still us. And I was like, I need to figure this out. And that's how Pinterest came into my life, and then eventually your life. So right out of the gate, I'm like, free download, Pinterest Power Plan Bundle. So there's a lot of significance in the choice of words. And then I created this on Canva. You're always going to know when Kim made the graphic versus her VA. Mine looks like a kindergarten painting. My VA looks like something hot off the press. So this is me. And I'm talking to them a little more lengthy now. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you a little bit of secrecy here. Unlock long-term success with this proven bundle. Think about what words are triggering in your brain right now, like ding, ding, ding. Where's the pinball going? 1, long-term success, proven bundle. Drive traffic, generate leads, and grow your business for years to come. And those of you who are in the mastermind, you already know this is not a joke. My husband and I had to put our Pinterest account in our will because there's so much residual and passive income coming through it. That is my daughter's part of her, generational financial significance. So look at what we've done. I've used colors that contrast. So if it's the green and the pink, stand out. And there's going to be italicized, there's going to be underline, and there's going to be bold where I need your eyes to go. So I want you to kind of pick this apart. And I'm going to show you how to create this very, very easily. So the Pinterest Power Plan Bundle is the solution you've been searching for. I'm using very, very assumptive languaging. I'm not pussyfooting around it. I'm not lacking confidence in my ability to provide or to deliver. This is the solution you've been searching for. The people looking for you need to know without a shadow of a doubt that you are the confident leader who can help them fix their problems, right? So when you understand what is keeping your audience up at night, what are they tossing and turning about at night? What's going on in their mind? Then you can solve. With this powerful bundle, you'll receive everything you need. That's true, right? You're going to want me, but you don't need me to leverage the power of Pinterest and take your business to the next level. So what's in the bundle? This is that 8-step checklist that we just saw in its own download. I decided to make it part of the bundle because the digital landscape, in my opinion, is very cutthroat, right? We have, with the Great Recession, after the global pandemic, we've seen an influx of digital educators, digital entrepreneurs surface. And so what some of us used to charge money for, these younger, hungrier creators, they're on TikTok, they're on YouTube Shorts, giving away the best of the best. So in order to be and maintain that competitive advantage, how can we kind of give them a little more than just a one PDF download? And that's where the bundle came in my mind. So the 8-step checklist to fully optimize your Pinterest profile, right? This checklist will ensure that your Pinterest profile is fully optimized, but they don't know what fully optimized means. So I go and say, hey, which will help you generate more leads and drive more traffic to your website. And you all know in my training, website can mean Instagram, TikTok, lead magnet, podcast, checkout cart, whether you have physical or digital products, anything. Doesn't have to be a blog. It doesn't have to be a website. By starting off better than 95% of other Pinterest creators, well, I'm coming in pretty hot here, you will set yourself up for long-term success and growth. Who would not want this bundle, right? There's a reason why I'm generating so many leads. Next, 7 ways to drive traffic to your blog. This is only going to be relevant to people who have a blog, but the strategies in this can apply to more than just a blog. And they'll learn that as they get this download and hear from me through my emails, right? Get more eyes on your content and attract new leads with my 7 proven strategies to drive blog traffic. Shonda is asking a really great question here, and I do address this a lot in my higher level training, so I want to talk about this. What if you don't have a service, but you're selling MLM products? This is actually not just specific to MLM. It stands true for affiliate marketing. It stands true really for anyone who has a product. But with MLM specifically, here's what I will say. What's the solution that your MLM product, and I say product is a singular, not plural, because for those of you who are in the MLM space or digital selling space, or direct selling space, I want you to pick 1 to 3 products from your product line, 1 to 3. And I want you to think about those products specifically and what's the promise. Anti-aging, right? Better skin, weight loss, wellness, whatever the thing is, as tangible as you can get. You can create a lead magnet like this. Of course, mine is about Pinterest because that's my thing, but this would be about your product. So your bullet points would say, here's a download to help you age gracefully, right? Lose 5 pounds before Christmas. And then you might give them a PDF with the promise. When they opt into this on the thank you page, we might see a little video from you say, hey, Kim, I am super excited that you want to lose 5 pounds before Christmas. So guess what? Right now, this PDF is on its way to your inbox. So don't miss it. Check your spam, check your promotion. But listen, come here. While you're here, I want to share my recommended product with you that is going to kickstart and amplify your results before Thanksgiving, right? Or before the thing. I'm just using examples. So now on your thank you page, you would link them to your MLM website or your replicated website. So I hope that makes sense, because when you come into my world for Pinterest, I actually advise to not pin your MLM website for multiple reasons. Number one, sometimes those MLM companies are blocked as spam. We don't want that. And number two, I like to track your metrics, and we look at what's called a drop-off rate. This could happen with a blog, it could happen with the website, but specifically with products, if someone has a cousin, a sister, a friend, an ex-friend who was selling with the same company that you are, they may have some preconceived emotions, preconceived notions. They may feel a certain way about the company. So when they see your pins and they go click on it and they go, oh, this is that company, no thanks, and they leave. We don't have them anymore. They're not in your ecosystem. So that's what I call that drop-off rate. We can't track that. Hilda, I don't know if I can repeat that, but this is being recorded. Right now we're streaming into the Pinterest Marketing for Beginners group, and we're time-stamped at 28 minutes, right? So you can go back to minute probably like 23 on the replay. And then the other thing here is some people have like sticker shock. We know that MLM and network marketing companies provide the best of the best, but you're going to get what you pay for. So that price tag is not of Amazon, it's not of Walmart, it's not of the dollar store. So if they've got a broke ass mindset and a broke ass mentality, when they get to your MLM replicated website, they're like, I'm sorry, you want to charge me how much for coffee? No, thank you. And they leave. But if they are in your ecosystem and you are nurturing and providing the value, and I hate to say it like this, but you're kind of inflicting pain, right? Inflict some pain, pour some salt on the wound. Hey, how long have you been trying to shed that fat? How long have you had that double chin? Do you really like the way you look when you hop on Zoom? Are you happy when you look through your camera roll and look at your pictures? Or do you really think to yourself, how the hell did I get here? How did I get here? Because when they're in your ecosystem, you can inflict that pain in a kind, respectful way that serves the solution. And right now, with our digital era being the way that it is, it does take about 8 to 20 exposures to your thing before people make that decision to work with you. 8 to 20. All right. So here's the bundle, same thing. Now, I know for a fact, let me stop sharing. Let me breathe. What are your ahas? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What's populating in your head? I'm going to go grab a link that I want to share with you. Feel free to unmute and share, because I have a resource for you today, completely free. Completely free. What's up, Sigrid? I didn't even see you sneak in.
Yeah, I just really appreciated how you just went over what to do with the MLM on the products, because that's been one of the things I'm sort of struggling a bit with. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. And it's great. Very cool. Anybody else want to share?
I have a share.
Hey, Tara.
So I have a service and products. Do you find it better to lead with the service for the because I, coach, and then I have a product obviously too that I share.
Yes, I love them both. That is a great question. I recommend having two lead magnets, especially with Pinterest, and I would be going gangbuster. And I would be pinning each of those lead magnets on a daily basis, if possible. If that's too much for your sanity, at least pin both of those lead magnets 2 to 3 times a week. So have one for each. And that way you may have people coming into your ecosystem for the service-based thing. And we always want to massage our message in a way that it's conducive to our audience. So I have products as well. As a matter of fact, my husband and I are just starting to make candles, not because we need another thing to do, but because I can't teach Pinterest to you without a product saying, this is my results, this is how it's working. So I need to be leading by example So we decided to start making some candles so that we could put those on Pinterest, and I'll be demonstrating the same exact thing. So that way no one can ever say like, yeah, easier said than done, right? No, bitch, I'm in the trenches with you. All right, I'm going to pop a link in the chat right now. I will tell you there's nothing for sale here, okay? This is my affiliate link because the opportunity that I'm able to gift you today is not a public offer. It is not, it's exclusive to only the affiliates of this system. There is a secret in the industry that coaches and gurus do not want you to know. And I know that's why y'all love me, because I'm always out here spreading the damn truth. So there is a really cool website. It is called PLR.me. Do not go there and create an account. You will hate yourself. Let me go find our friends on Facebook real quick. I love quick things. Here's the link for y'all. Okay. When you create an account on your own, and I'm going to talk to you about why you might want to, this particular agency is going to gift you 2 credits right out of the gate if you come and do it on your own. Those 2 credits expire at the end of the month. They do not roll over. So if you don't use them, you lose them. If you use the link that I was able to gift you, and I had to jump through hoops, here's proof. This is the owner's wife of the company. You're going to get 10 free download credits. They are exclusive to select affiliates, so not even all of their affiliates get this, and it is not available publicly on the site anywhere. I don't ever speak out of my fanny. So when you use the link I shared with you to create your account, you're going to get 10 credits, and those 10 credits never, ever expire. So what is PLR, Kim? Why do I care? I'm glad you asked. PLR stands for Private Label Rights. I'm going to minimize us in the video for a second. So if your hands are up, I can't see it. Done for you. You want to simplify your life? Here you go. Done for you, PLR content that you can brand as your own. Now it says for coaches, but this is for anybody. Beautiful, ready to sell private label coaches, courses, articles, products, worksheets, content, downloads, bam, mic drop. So I want someone to put in the chat for me, what is something of value that you think would benefit your audience? What's your niche? What's your conversation that you're having with people? And thank you, Desi. Okay, getting over fear, stress relief, saving money. Okay, let's see what we got. So what we're going to do here is let's just type the word stress. Let's keep it as short and vague as possible. Right away, we can see suggested results. 50 simple stress relief strategies. This is a workshop and a slide deck presentation. So if you wanted to create your own course, you could sell it. You could have it as a lead magnet. You could do webinars as their slide deck presentation to enroll people. Here's a coping with stress worksheet. 25 ways to reduce stress worksheet or checklist. Here's a stress assessment. I think we're mostly women in this room. I'm not excluding the men, but I will say for us women, we know damn well that when we would open the Teen Beat magazine to find page 79 to see if you're a good kisser, we knew we were good kissers, but we still wanted to take that damn quiz to see what the results were going to be. So anytime you can find an assessment, you are going to perform so well, because it's no different than like, hey, turn to page 19 to see if he's good in bed, right? Like you did it. You just did it. That's the way it was. So people love that kind of stuff, checklist, assessment, stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and click the button. All right, men, if you didn't know, that's what we did. And I'm going to close the chat for just a second. So right now we have 3,385 private label resources and bundles for stress. And this is why I wanted to gift you those 10 credits, okay? Because you'll see that this one right here is 10 credits. Even if you use my link, you're still going to get 2 credits every single month. They do expire each month. So I would really encourage you to come in here once a month, excuse me, and at least use the 2. Here's a coping with stress worksheet. So I'm going to just no, I like this one. 25 ways to reduce stress, right? This is a lead magnet that's done for you. You don't have to do anything other than build the funnel page. So let's go to this item and see what we've got. It's going to show you, and I will tell you, it does kind of blur the images so that you just can't steal their intellectual property. You've got to download it. So it's a checklist, 25 ways to reduce stress. It's 2 credits. There you go. Bing, bang, boom. What does this include? Pages, right? So people like me who have a Mac, you've got your pages. You're going to get a PDF. I have no freaking idea what an RTF is, but someone who's smarter than me, you can figure that out. And then if you scroll down, it's like, hey, you may also like, here's a stress management bundle. So if you've been wanting to create a digital course, if you've been wanting something to complement your product, whether it's a physical product you make yourself or an MLM product, you could be talking about the stress management in a course. And then you're going to bring in, why do you work with the products you work with? Here's the product that works for me. And now you're going to link your product in the course, maybe even in the checklist or in your email follow-up. You're going to be talking about the thing, whether it is service or product, as the thing and the solution that helped you close the gap from where you were to where you are. So it's blurred, like I said, and right here, you can, boom, you can brand it as your own. You can give it away or sell it. You can repurpose it into other formats. So what me and my assistant like to do, we come here, we use our 2 credits each month. It makes for great social media content. It makes for great articles on LinkedIn. It makes for great pins on Pinterest. And then your links, your call to action that you're sending people to is the lead magnet. Now you're building an email list like a freaking boss, okay? If you sell it, you get to keep 100% of the profits. There's no royalties, and you can use this in unlimited projects. So now it's talking to you about, here's some tips and tricks on how you can use the thing, right? And most of these are going to give you kind of a picture of it. So I'm going to download, I don't want the bundle. I just want to download this thing. Oh, I should log in first, dummy. Is this valuable? Is this helpful? I'm going to download this. And I want whoever, I don't care, in the Pinterest Marketing for Beginner Facebook group, if you're not in there, get in there. I will upload this file, this download. Deborah, I'm saying don't make a login directly to the website yourself. Make a login through my link so that you get those 10 credits because you're going to want them. Yep. So I don't need this stress thing. I'm just doing this as an example. So because you're all here, I'm just going to upload this as a file inside of the Facebook group, and you guys can take it, download it, use it, do whatever you want. So it just downloaded. It's in a zip file. It's always in a zip file. We're going to unzip it by double clicking. All right, you would double click. Looks like it took care of it. So I've got the Apple Pages. Let's open this up. You guys, I mean, like, mind-blowing stuff. If you are for freaking free, get your ass in the mastermind. I'm so serious. 13 spots left. Find the $1,500 and get in. Okay, so I just took a screenshot of this so that I could now go to Canva. You know that we love Canva. and we're going to create a design. We're going to type in Pinterest pin. I like the larger size. If you're in the academy, you know the deets, you know the drill. And inside of Canva, we can use any of these beautiful, beautiful templates that are already done for us. And I'm going to upload that screenshot that I just took of the 25 stress thingies. And I'm going to drag it into this. If this is beyond your pay grade, you need in the mastermind. Because I teach you all of these things in there. I'm just very time conscientious, and we have about 10 minutes left. So I'm going to make this a little bigger. I'm going to drop this down. So now look at how professional this looks. So free download, right? 25 ways to reduce stress. Everything you need to know about breaking free from stress. And then there's the picture of the thing they're going to get, right? So now I could save this as my keyword. This is not necessarily a Pinterest training, so I'm not going to get into what that means because I have so many resources for you. We're going to save this. Desi heard me last week. I said, if you got to sell a kidney to get into this mastermind, you got to do it. These lives are changing already, and we're only 1 week in. I'm sorry. I'm very good at what I do. I am. All right. So now we're on Pinterest, and we're going to create a pin. And guess what? We're going to grab that freebie that we just made through PLR. If you're good inside of Canva, you can actually upload the document that we downloaded, and you could put your website on it, your logo, your face. You can really turn this into a robust download that's branded to you. That's what you have those credits for. You're basically getting the license to use this document however you want. All right. However you want. Okay, Hilda, this is completely free to use with the link that I provided to you. That's going to give you 10 credits. All right, let me see. I'm going to see if that link is still there. I'm dropping the link again in the chat. Click that link and create an account through that link. It's a free account. Once you create it through my link, they're going to gift you 10 credits right out of the gate. So when you look at what you have here, this one is 2 credits. So you'd have 8 remaining. So you could download 5 different things. You could potentially create your own bundle like I did with Pinterest and then give them all of it. And then you could definitely splice these up. You could make short form video out of this content, and your call to action is the lead magnet. Grow your email list. You could create social media graphics. You could create quote pins on Pinterest. Maybe you could create 25 different pins, one with each of the numbers 1 through 25, but point them to the download, right? Yeah, Aram, I have never really seen anyone do that. Yep. And Helga's like, this is an amazing resource. Would you create different graphic pins for this lead magnet if you wanted to promote it daily? Yes. So what I do is I take one item, one link, one download, I give it to my VA, and I say, I want you to create 7 pins for this, 7 different pins. And then the next week I give her the same damn resource and I go create 7 more, go create 7 more. So every single day of the week, my lead magnet is being pinned with a different graphic. So this destination link, right? For those of you who've gone through the Pinterest training with me, this is going to go where? To the link for your lead magnet. Okay. In the title, we would do our keyword research. So I'm guessing right now that holiday stress is going to be a very big thing for people. So I might actually tweak my language just to get in front of more people and say 25 simple ways to reduce holiday stress before the in-laws come, right? I'm funny. I don't mind being funny, but if you're serious, be serious. That's going to attract some people. And then you could tweak this one download, New Year's, right? Debt, how to make money. Stress comes with everything: weight loss, relationships, money, spending it, saving it, making it, all the things. You could tweak your language to fit every little micro niche inside of your niche. All right. And then you're going to write your description. Yep. So Jennifer, the link will go right to the lead magnet. So this is no different. If I typed in pinterestgrowth.com, right? Let's say this is your link for your particular lead magnet. Bam, it takes them right to your funnel page. And that is the link I would have in the pin. So now you're using Pinterest with the free resources you downloaded from PLR. How much simpler does it get? I think we're done here. All right. Questions? Helpful? Cool. Very cool.
Kim, I put this question in the chat. On the lead magnet, how often should you change it? Or should you just keep the same lead magnet consistent for a month? Or
I
is
keep
it
it
like
until you,
related to
maybe forever. Keep it until you exhaust it. Milk that cow until it's dry. And you'll know once you stop converting, once you stop seeing the leads come in. And we know this just because we're tracking. So I could see that, like mine, I had 450. That was not going anywhere. That's still generating leads. But for me, it just wasn't enough. So I wanted to create that bundle. And now the bundle, so it's still part of the thing. But when you create them on Pinterest, it will live forever. So as long as you have it there forever, great. And then it's really your discretion. You might want seasonal lead magnets. You might use the same one for the whole year. I have found that for me, it's very evergreen. So I don't need to switch them out. And if someone has heard it before, then okay, work with me or just keep moving.
Should it be also too, like, should we have a lead magnet that's particular to each pin? Or no, is that too much?
You mean a pin for each lead magnet?
Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely would.
Okay.
I absolutely would.
Because that's where the convert, right? Is that because obviously you get all these people viewing, and then you want obviously them to convert, or I guess be in the email list or whatever the next step is, right?
Exactly. And so most of you kind of walked through the Pinterest 5-day challenge with me. That is a lead magnet as well. So it's a challenge. So if you're hosting it's a lead magnet that has a deadline, right? So something like this, and you can see with my 5-day challenge, I generated 718 new leads with one challenge. So something like that, that's a workshop, a webinar, a masterclass, a challenge, you could simply come into your funnel and just change the dates for the next time you're going to do it, so that if it is pinned or if it's out there in the digital world, anytime someone clicks that link, that website's always going to be updated and relevant with whatever the next launch is going to be. So you guys are in full control. There's no wrong way to do this. You just have to do it. You really do. And so, Michelle, if your account is already in use, use a different email address and be blessed with those 10 credits that I was able to give you. All right. Any other questions before I cut you loose? Hilda.
Hi, sorry, I'm full of questions today.
Okay, that's what I'm here for.
Listen, so I'm doing network marketing. I do have my Pinterest account for that.
Mhm.
I am actually starting a new project, and which is like a digital course.
Okay,
Do I need to create another account for Pinterest?
please don't.
Keep
Please
both
don't.
things separate? No?
Nope. What I want you to do is create your boards so that each board is kind of niche specific, because the pins are going to do the heavy lifting for you. So if you guys are out there creating multiple Pinterest accounts, you're going to drive yourself batshit crazy. You're going to, it's going to be a lot of work. You're going to feel that it's hard to keep up with. You may burn out. And so I would rather see you have the pins speak to each of those niches, but use the language so that it still serves your audience. So I was using this as an example. I obviously serve entrepreneurs and business owners. So if I was selling essential oils, I'm going to talk about why you need this oil diffused in your home office for clarity, why you need this oil diffused in your home office, why you need this oil for leg cramps when you're sitting on so many Zooms. So whatever your audience is, you want to be able to offer them multiple resources. This is how we become a distribution channel. And you're serving them all of the things that can really be of value for their life and business. Good question. All right. I'm not ignoring you, Facebook. I will circle back and get to the comments, but I usually really give my undivided attention to the Zoom room. So if ever at all possible, come and join us in Zoom. Shonda.
Hi, thank you very much. This is a lot of great information. I'm trying to still wrap my head around all of it. So when you have the lead page, does that have its own, not website, but like URL code?
Yes, it's going to create most of the time, and depending on whatever software you choose to use. So I know I was recommending Aweber for email. If you don't have another service or software, excuse me, with the paid version of Aweber, they let you create these pages. You can actually create a funnel right inside of Aweber, and it looks a little ugly. Like these links are very long and very ugly, but at least you have it. So what I'll do is I go to GoDaddy or Namecheap and I buy a very, very inexpensive domain. So when I type something like this, PinterestGrowth.com, it's easy for the brain to remember, but watch what happens. It brings you to the big, ugly, long URL. I don't care. All I did was buy the domain and I just forwarded it so that it was shorter and easier to put on the pins and on the graphics. And if I'm doing short videos, I can say, hey, go to PinterestGrowth.com. No one's going to forget that. So wherever
Okay,
you choose to
so
create it, you will have a link.
make your image in Canva and then put it into whatever your email service is. And then you can edit the domain so it's shorter.
Yep. And it's not necessary. You don't have to. That's just kind of the next level, for people who are ready for that. So at your
Okay.
discretion.
You answered a huge question for me because I see all these trainings and people doing this and saying that, and it's like there was never that just simple little connection piece there. Like, I'm like, okay, you make this, but what the hell do you do with it?
Yes. Yes.
And it's like that simple. Okay. And so I'm like, I just don't ever do it because I didn't realize that's what you did.
Yep.
So
Well,
thank you.
for being here today. I appreciate that. And Diana says, hey, can you use Bitly to shorten links? Yes, you can. Yep, you can use Bitly. So Deborah, Tara, I don't know if your hand is still up or if you have a new question, but if you do, I'll get to you right after Deborah. And then this is a wrap. So come on down.
Kim.
Deborah. Hi.
I first just want to say thank you so much for being you.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
a really good teacher, and I am learning from you so I can start on Pinterest.
Awesome.
So my question, I actually put it in the chat, but if you're starting from ground zero and you need to build your financial resources before you can spend money on these services and things like that, I'm pretty good at, I'm very good at Google Suite. So can a lead magnet link just lead to a Google form where you're collecting the information there?
It's a little convoluted. So you still need a way to capture the data automatically. So you need some kind of an opt-in, some kind of a form. So what you could do, yeah, you could create a Google form that's almost like something they have to fill out. You get an email, right? You get notified when someone enters the Google form,
Mhm.
and then you could follow up with them. But as far as automation, I don't think there would be a smooth transition.
Yeah, I was more thinking of, the form would collect their email address so I can send them the information.
You could do that, absolutely.
And
It's
I
gonna
know
be-
that would just be a ton of work
Yeah.
at first, but until I can build the resources to buy
Absolutely.
service, that was my question.
Yep. It's gonna be a manual process, but look, when we start, like, we have to put the work in. We don't get to come out leveraged and like gangbusters. So you do what you gotta do, but I think having a Google form, they're gonna give you a link. And you could put that link out into the world and say, hey, if you'd like this, and you can have them answer questions, you can have them put their name, their phone number, their email, and then you're gonna manually follow up with them. So that's definitely doable.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, Tara, close us out, sister.
So my question is on the funnel. The funnel, is that, and I know you said about Aweber is your email.
Yep.
So the funnel is built into that. I have a website and everything like that, and there's automation on there. But I don't feel like it looks good, like it's not a good flow. It's not an easy flow. So is the Aweber the only thing that you use as far as the funnel, or?
No, I'm actually, I'm moving my whole business over to a system called Go High Level. There's tons and tons. There's system.io, there's there's Keep, there's Aweber, you can just Google like where to build a funnel, and there's so many options, really, truly. Yeah.
So have you ever heard of ThriveCart?
Yep.
Yeah. So I saw that and I was like, and again, it's like, I guess it's obviously like there's so many options. It's like, what do you choose? Or
Yeah.
so, okay.
ThriveCart is great. I have a lifetime membership with them. I've never really used it, but it's just there as a great resource. It links and integrates with Teachable. So if you have your digital courses and things, you can build your cart in ThriveCart, and it will integrate with Teachable and unlock whatever they've purchased. So lots of options. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, my friends, 1 o'clock on the dot. You freaking nailed it. We nailed it. We did great. Thank you so much for your time. I always thank you for helping me do what I love, because if it weren't for you, shoot. And there's 50 of you amazing badasses who showed up at 12 p.m. Central Time on a Friday. So just know that I'm truly, truly grateful. If you've got questions about the Academy, if you've got questions about the mastermind, you can DM me on Facebook. You can send me an email. I'm here for you. Have a great weekend. Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you.
My pleasure. I don't know how to stop this recording. Here we go. It's like I freaking